Did I get everything right? I've got the lights, I've got the tea, I've got the books, and I sat down correctly so that my costume didn't melt into the ether. Here we go. Welcome! Welcome to April's Friday Live in honor of Shakespeare. I'm here in the guise of a Shakespearean strumpet. I'll just toodaloo. I got my little in the wrong era skirt and sort of mishmashed hairstyle. I don't know. I think it comes off okay. So, welcome. Happy Shakespeare Day. Hope you're enjoying a Friday somewhere. Feel free to say hello. It's been an amazing week. So I just wanted to say all the things that have happened this week. It took me like a whole list of things. So as you probably know, my birthday was on Tuesday, and that was an awesome day. It's also Sonia's birthday, an enthusiastic reader. I found out I have a BookTube birthday twin. So we're gonna have to do something in the future. Sonia's an excellent commenter, and I've seen her out and about, and so she commented that that is also her birthday. So twin. Now I have a twin. That's not a good sign. So that's fun. And Wednesday was Charlotte Bronte's birthday, April 21st, one of my favorite authors of all time. And Blatantly Bookish is doing the Bronte Project, so I'm sure she mentioned that this week and is all sorts of excited about that, even though Charlotte isn't her favorite Bronte, which I will have to forgive Marissa for. Hi, David. Nice to see you. I believe you are a new to BookTube personality and are like popping on people's pages to say hello, and it's just delightful. You're leaving great comments, and I'm looking forward to engaging with your comments and commentary and everything. So that's great. Let me take this off. There we go. And so welcome. So that was the 21st. Yesterday, the 22nd, April 22nd is Earth Day. So I was having fun talking about Earth Calling, which is a book written 8 years ago about stuff that is still relevant. And last night, my cozy bedtime reading was Dark Age America, where someone, so I had this shelved in the wrong section. I got the wrong idea from the author. So I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought I was going to be reading about like a race thing. And then I opened up and it was all about climate. And I was like, oh, okay. The fall of capitalism, like all this kind of like Dark Age America. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about the cliff we're heading off of. And it was published in 2016 by John Michael Greer, who calls himself the Arch Druid online. So that was exciting. And so, yeah, so that was cozy reading before bed, talking about how we're changing seats on the Titanic is basically what his opening salvo was. And I can't disagree. So yeah, so that's an interesting book to get into on this topic of Earth Day. And then today, April 23rd, Shakespeare Day. And I didn't verify or confirm this again. Okay, let me catch up. Of course, you're very welcome. Beth Ann is here. She's doing mindless tasks and listening in. That's awesome. And thank you. This is the one that doesn't get much airing because I commissioned this, not corset, not doublet. I can't think of the word. It's been too long. For the Ren Faire right before things, right before I was unemployed and then got a job and then didn't have time to go to Ren Fairs because they're 4 hours away. And like, so I've worn this like 3 times. It's very sad. So good occasion. Your Ren Faire wench is here to spill. Yes, so Shakespeare Day. I didn't verify this, but Lana Ex Libris. So let me just say, she put up an awesome video today, and I'll put that in the chat. So instead of Shakespeare retellings, which she said she often doesn't identify with, she went to like things that get more at the words and the vibe of Shakespeare. And so she had a few recommendations and then put up a few that she wants to read that she feels will be good. And I was very impressed with the thought that went into that. So I have a couple more for my TBR. Red Velvet, which has to do with the first Black actor to play Othello in London in the 1830s. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh. So apparently she's finding it hard to get hold of. I haven't looked up buying it yet. I just put it on like the wish list. So I will have to check out whether it's hard to get hold of too. But Red Velvet and Juliet is one she read when she was younger, but it also sounds like right up my alley. It's I think there's two timelines. One is modern day, one is like 14th century Siena. And it's around like what the original story that eventually made it to Shakespeare's ears might have been and how they like totally made sense in their time and place. So that sounds really good too. Sounds very Susanna Kearsley, and I am a big Susanna Kearsley fan. Let's hear it. Let's hear it for the Canadian historical fiction supernatural vibe. So yeah, so go check out Lana's video. And then tomorrow, have I done my work yet? Have I laid the groundwork? Can anyone tell me what tomorrow is? Saturday, April 24th? I hope so. I will wait. I will wait and take a sip of tea to get my voice like primed here, some hot liquids. Oof. Book Island. Hello. Nice to see you here. Welcome. We're waiting for someone to mention what's happening tomorrow on Saturday, April 24th. No! Shoot. All right, well, I will just spoil the secret then. It's Indie Bookstore Day. So my plan, which I hatched on Twitter, and I definitely want people to look up, is to do a swap. So if you've been on other platforms that have done this, it's not a new concept, but the indie bookstore support piece is. And as a former bookseller myself, I know that this is like God's work, if you believe in God. And it's supporting small businesses. It's supporting people who are in the community paying taxes. It's getting people books. It's making friends across the miles. And so, yeah, I want to match people up who want to participate, have them agree on like a money limit so no one's feeling like pressured, like $20, $30, whatever, to buy a few books and package them up and send them to your partner. So if you know a favorite local bookstore, you're set. You're going to choose that one and, help them along. And if you don't, I'm compiling a list on Twitter of at least the bookstores that are on Twitter, and also like a secret spreadsheet of all the indie bookstores that I know and love and want to visit. Yes, so this is a near and dear project to my heart. Near and dear to my heart project. A project near and dear to my heart. And yay! Okay, David got it. He's going to an indie bookstore tomorrow. Awesome. Thank you, Book Island. You can put your name in the comments too if you don't want me to call you by your channel name. Yes. So hopefully people will pair up with people who ask a few questions, maybe look at their wish list somewhere, and then go to an indie bookstore and ask, oh, these are the seed ideas that I got. This person really likes Much Ado About Nothing. What is a similar theme or another Shakespeare that they might like that's a comedy, etc. And engage with a bookseller and support your small business that's local. So yes, that's the idea. So I've got a few people who have like replied who are on the list, but if not, if you haven't done that yet, I know Beth Ann has. If you haven't done that yet, for sure visit my Twitter and check out that list that I've started. I'll put that in the chat. Juhi, did I say that right? Juhi. Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me a pronunciation guide. Welcome. Massive COVID outspread here. Okay, I'm sorry to hear about that. That sucks. The cool thing about indie bookstores during COVID is that a lot of them have gone online. So there's a Twitter campaign. I'm sure there's Instagram stuff I'm not as well up on. And they're doing their darndest to do curbside pickup, to do, warehouse delivery, to do gift box subscriptions, like all sorts of things that they never thought they would be able to do. And now, since no one's coming in the door, they got time. So, check out, if you don't know who's in your area, you can go to indiebound.org. Put that into. And they actually have an index. I think it might be America, Canada. I'm not sure. Yeah, it might not be international, but it has like put your zip code in and it'll tell you the indie bookstores that are registered with them in your area. So if you don't have any idea if they're doing anything online that might be easy to access, then you could definitely go there and take a look. Juhi's saying, I love book shopping online, but offline bookstore is hard. I know. There's a lot of people in the UK in my timeline who are saying, I'm so excited. I don't, their third lockdown just let up. And so isn't it interesting to have a country with like a national standard and everyone's doing the same thing? That's so quaint. Anyway, American sarcasm here. So they were all like set on the podcast I was listening to, the booktubers I was listening to. They were excited to go out to coffee or go out to a bookstore. And I'm just here like, yeah, I'll make an appointment. I'm doing my last round of like online shopping. Who knows when it will end. Next week I'm getting my first vaccine dose. So that's exciting. So yes, so support your indie bookstore in any way you can tomorrow. Retweet, regram, post a picture of like your bookstore that you're yearning to visit. Anything to give them some exposure, some love, some, moral support is appreciated. And also this book swap project. So I don't have like a central place or like any posts about it yet, but definitely respond to that Twitter thread on my page. It's pinned to the top of my Twitter page, and I'll put you on the spreadsheet when it comes out and tag you so that you know like when it's launching. I want to start it soon and give people like the month of May to shop, question, sort of back and forth with their partner, and then ship. And so should be doable. That'd be fun. So I'm very excited about that. That's the indie bookstore piece. That's the 24th. And then, yeah, the subject of today's live is the dramatic reading. So I don't think I got to one of these last month because March of the Moderns sort of took over everything. But I have a trusty background to fall back on. High school copy, guys. High school copy. Same. Hamlet, Midsummer Night's Dream. Inherited a copy, not the one I used, but inherited. And then this was, I think, a freebie I got because this is World Book Night, April 23rd, several years ago, because they give them out for free for World Book Day. That's also happening now. Who put it up? Jeremy. I just saw Jeremy's video. I didn't look this up beforehand to share with you. Jeremy Fee, his channel has a video today of the free books that Amazon is putting up. And whenever you can get something free on Amazon, I grudge you nothing because it just comes with marketing emails. And if you can handle that and you're already in their system, hey, why not? It's featuring books from around the world that you can get for free in ebook format. And so I think I got like 8 out of the 10 that they were offering that looked really great. So authors I had not heard of, titles I had not heard of. And if you're lifting up voices that are marginalized, I say, yes, I grudge you nothing. So yeah. So that is the other World Book Day thing that's going on today. The other thing I'm going to ask, so these are from my like deep, dark high school experience of studying Shakespeare. And what's funny is I have had these other Shakespeares for quite some time, have not read them because reading Shakespeare on my own is is frustrating is like being in a desert and like having no water. The annotated versions will be better because they will give you textual notes. But the experience of seeing something on a stage, seeing an adaptation, talking it over with a professor, like cannot be beat. And so some of these, I was watching also Alexander Reed's. Oh, I can't remember the name of his channel. I think it's Alexander Reed's, and he's a booktuber from Nigeria. He's got a great video up today that is about books to movies, adaptations, and movies that were better than the books, actually, which you would think I would not be on board with, but I thought he had some great points. So yeah. And then someone, I think it was him, was talking about the difference of seeing the book before the movie or the movie before the book, and how that impresses itself on you differently. Yay! Hey, Jim. Yeah, Jim bellied up to the bar to get the Amazon World Book Day books. So yeah, so definitely Jeremy Fee's channel has the link and like the highlighted books if you want to check that out. But like I was saying, it's difficult for me to get through Shakespeare and get that same spark that I did when I was studying it. So if you have a suggestion out of these that you think I would enjoy or that you want to read together and help each other, please do tell. I've got Henry Five. I've got The Merchant of Venice. I've got Antony and Cleopatra. I've got Richard II. Richard II? I don't know. As You Like It. And Othello, which Lana mentioned is part of the theme of Red Velvet. So that might be a good like pairing read. So all those are 6 that I haven't read. Give me a whistle, drop me a line, comment if you hate any of these and think they're not worth reading. These are ones that I took from my house growing up because I knew no one there was going to read them, so they had a better chance with me, but not yet. Not yet. So hopefully we can remedy that with some Shakespeare etude, some attitude here. Oh, okay. So David's saying, love Henry V. I mean, famous speech. Yes, I should get into that, and he needs to read Antony and Cleopatra. Yeah. Cool deal. All right. Yeah. So hot water, cold water. Let's get into this. I'm going to start with Much Ado About Nothing. And a little background. This is a passage we had to memorize for a class. I have not memorized all of these, so you're going to see me reading. It is a dramatic reading as advertised, not a dramatic delivery. I don't know what you would call that, like a performance. So I know this one a little better. I went with the ones I know a little better because I've been in the productions. And yeah, so I looked through some of these and was like, should I? And then I was like, I can't read through them in this time. So no. And Jim weighing in with my Second Life characters were taken from Othello. Oh, yeah, your handles on social media are related to Iago. Iago's the villain, right? Iago, Othello, and Desdemona. Interesting. And my Second Life is like a simulated game / like The Sims. I bet on steroids, I guess. Interesting. Fun. That's fun. All right. Ready? So first one from Much Ado About Nothing is Act 2, Scene 3, Benedict. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music in him, but the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come into my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the arbor. There you go. So if anyone recognized that from the movie by Kenneth Branagh, or with Kenneth Branagh, or the recent stage production that was on YouTube, it was played by, I just blanked on his name. The guy, the Doctor Who, the British Mysteries. Oh, why can't I remember his name? Anyway, he's hilarious, and I really enjoyed his performance of that. So that's one down. Who loves Much Ado About Nothing? We can definitely rate these as we go. That was on my my to-dos as well. So Much Ado About Nothing. It's one of my favorite. I went through and actually looked to see if there were any longer speeches, and that's one, but like there's not many because it's mostly the repartee that is so engaging and makes it such a funny piece. So it's one of my favorites. So David Tennant, thank you. McDonald, but Tennant is his actor name. Yeah. Thank you, David Tennant. There we go. And then Jim was weighing in that Iago is the villain. Iago is Spanish. James. Iago. Oh, okay. Beth Ann saying, I loved Much Ado About Nothing when I read it in college. I don't remember much about it now. Time for a reread. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I can't remember if I saw a talkback or what, but people were, I remember recently listening to a discussion about the resolution and like the fake, well, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind. I'll just Nope. Yeah. We'll just keep mum about that. Ooh. All right. What we have next. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to put up. Oh, yes. Okay. So, well, I guess I could wait, but I'll put it out early. So if you guys don't know about this channel, you are going to be in for a treat. So I'll put it in the chat. Toutai-Lautrec is another booktube channel that does Shakespeare sonnets, which I'm going to end with, and It is a drag queen who presents like a brilliantly staged, researched, you know, backed up with facts and understanding, which is like what I'm looking for. And I don't watch all of them, but he's going through all of Shakespeare's sonnets. And so check out the channel if you want to delve more into that and be visited by hilarity, because they do a great job. I don't want a hat tip because I studied the sonnets, but like didn't really get into them. So that's a good resource for getting into them and exploring the language a bit more, which Lana might appreciate. Okay, next up, number 2, we're going to take from Hamlet, which is my favorite, maybe. And we're going to start with Act 1, Scene 5. I get to be another man. Well, not a man, you will see. A ghost. So, Act 1, Scene 5, this is Hamlet, the dead king, appearing to Hamlet, the current king. Not the current king. What should have been the current king. Anyway, you'll see. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy 2 eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand on end like quills upon the fearful porpentine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, oh, list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love. Oh God. That was a fun one. We had a football player play the ghost of King Hamlet, and he did a great job. So I was channeling Lee from 1996. Yeah, the ghost gets a good role, I would say. Yeah. And I like being able to skip through and do dramatic readings of roles that I would never get. I mean, unless it's like an all-female cast retelling. So it's my imagination let loose. So that was number 2. Any other favorite Shakespeare plays? You want to guess what's coming next? I'll just put this up here for a little while in case people are popping in. I already went through why this week is so freaking brilliant, but I want to remind people to support independent bookstores tomorrow, online, offline, any way you can. Give them a hug and a kiss because they need it. All right, number 3. Am I on number 3? Any guesses for what we're bringing up? Boop. Midsummer Night's Dream. All right, which one are we going to take from this one? Oh, comical, tragical, historical. This is Act 4, Scene 1, the very end. When my cue comes, call me and I will answer. My next is most fair Pyramus. Hey, ho? Peter Quince? Flute the bellows maker? Snout the tinker? Starveling? God's my life, stolen hence and left me asleep. I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream. Past the wit of man to say what dream it was. Man is but an ass if he go about to expand this dream. Methought I was, and methought I had, but man is but a patched fool if he will offer to say what methought I had. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen, man's hand is not able to taste, and his tongue to conceive, nor his heart to report what my dream was. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will sing it in the latter end of a play before the Duke. Peradventure, to make it the more gracious, I shall sing it at her death. Oh. So that was Bottom waking up, and he's transformed back into a man. Oh, this is so funny. That's Jonathan's part in our high school play. Excellent. Just brings back lots of fun memories. I got to play Puck in that production. So good. So good, so good. Oh, the Hamlet fans. Excellent. Excellent. So what about comedy or tragedy of Hamlet? No, comedy or tragedy of Shakespeare is what I was going to ask. Which do you weigh in on? I have to say, to read, the tragedies are always more easier to understand because the comedy has gone so far afield that it is sometimes very not funny in the present time. And so to read it, you really have to have those notes saying, this used to mean this, and be like, oh, okay. Like the body humor is, unless it's on stage, it's not as funny to read about. Okay, number 4, I'm going to go back to Hamlet. Different voice, different voice. Who are we doing now? Ooh. We're getting fun now. Okay, so this is Act 3, Scene 3. And I have a prop for this one. So, all right, here we go. Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a-praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scant. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven? Why, this is higher in salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes, broad blown, as flush as May, and how his audit stands, who knows, save heaven. But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up, sword, and know now. Know thou a more horrid hint. When he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game, a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip him, and that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned as and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days. Oh, I tripped up in that one. That's a good speech too, though. That was a good one. Hamlet is just so rich and versatile and tense. Okay, Jim's weighing in on the comedy here. Shakespeare's humor is dated. How about Jesus? I'm sure the camel passing through the eye of the needle was hilarious in the original Aramaic, but now it's taken So seriously. Oh, interesting. I didn't. Is that supposed to be funny? The camel passing through the eye of the needle? I guess because it's an exaggeration. So it's an exaggeration to prove a point. I guess that might have been funny. Lost on us Catholics. Yeah. I guess when I say some of the comedy is dated, it's the comparisons. Just like being in the figure of a donkey, an ass. It's so basic humor, and I feel like our civilization is more attuned to layers and like sophisticated humor. That is the one we zero in on, and the more basic stuff is like, come on. And so when you really get into the text and sort of see how both of them are being played with, and there's rhythms of both, and then you can appreciate it. But if you're just looking at this as like the first run without that help, it can look very wah wah, not funny. And this, in case anyone is wondering, is a letter opener that's shaped like a little sword that I stole from my dad's office. Took from my dad's office. And I think it was his dad. So it's an old letter opener that is just too cool. It says Mallorca on it. So maybe it came from Mallorca, one of my grandpa's like retirement trips. I don't know. I've never been there. I know it's part of Spain, related to Spain, near Spain. I don't know. I don't know much about it except that it's a sword prop. Oh. So that's Hamlet. We're up to our last one. The sonnet stage. So as I said, definitely go out and check out Too Tight-Lautrec, as in Toulouse-Lautrec, Toulouse. You know what? I just realized that that's a complete pun. Wow, I am so slow. Speaking of humor, too loose, too tight. Because I thought too tight was like a play on words about being drunk. Nope. It's just the opposite of Toulouse. Toulouse-Lautrec. Wow. If they watch this, I'm going to be embarrassed. Oh well. Maybe I enlightened it for someone else. That's a good thought. Oh, final round. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to breathe in this. Again, if you missed it, there's a whole outfit that's like Ren Faire coordinated. The skirt is actually like Victorian, but you can't see the bottom. So it goes very well for just the top being Renaissance-ish. Although it looks a little bit more Spanish than English for the bard. But what are you gonna do? Anyone have a favorite sonnet before I start? You want to like put up their favorite? I think we only studied like 5 in detail, and this is one of the ones we studied in detail, and maybe the one I memorized. I don't know. A few of them came back to me. I read through the whole book yesterday to like scan and see which ones I remembered. So I'm going with one I remembered so that I don't trip over it as much, because no one likes that. Ugh. 29. There's the big reveal. We're going with sonnet 29. Because I wanted to end this on a happy note. And of course, then we could chat or whatever, but the dramatic reading portion of the program will be over. And in case you didn't notice, I am, in fact, on a stage. So there you go. All right, ready? Sonnet 29. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him, like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. I like that one. Backstage booktube. Love getting into the piratey Renaissance-y getup. I tried to do like a makeup job that would go with Renaissance. I have no white makeup. So like obviously the Elizabethan choice would have been to whiten the face and put like a bit of rouge. I don't have white. All I have is something that's close to my skin tone. So that didn't work too well. And then I tried putting on blush anyway, and it came out like like a horror movie blush. It was not good. I am way out of practice. Yeah. And let's see. I did some braids, and I tried to do a middle part. It didn't exactly work because I have like a cowlick or a widow's peak or whatever you want to call it. So we got halfway with that. Authentic, not authentic. And then I went with arts and crafts earrings from Chicago that sort of look Renaissance-y. So, you know, what are you going to do? You work with what you have. I hope this was entertaining. I loved delving back into Shakespeare for the day and bringing in some other booktubers content. I hope you check out Lana's channel with the Shakespeare recommendations, retellings, and Two Tight-Lautrec's channel and Jeremy Fee's channel for the World Book Day freebies on Amazon. And yeah, final little poll here is, which should I read next? And does anyone have any inclination for any of these and want to try it together? Because I like help. So wait on that. And get your Tootsie over to Twitter. My Twitter is in the chat to tell me about your local independent bookstore or the one that you would select from if you wanted to participate in the swap. I know Beth Ann is already on board, but I've got the list going on my Twitter. It's pinned at the top of my profile. Feel free to add to the list. And if you want to get involved with the swap, just reply and I'll put you on the secret list. Beth Ann saying, appreciate the hair and earrings. I'll leave it up like this because when do we get dressed up anymore? I had a vision of like, what if I went out to the parking lot like this? I mean, I've done it before because I dress up like 1830s for book launches and book events. But yeah, it's always a little weird getting into your car with voluminous skirts and like putting a seatbelt on. It just feels odd. Let me know if you've ever had this feeling before. White with red brush and that costume, you'd have looked like Snow White minus the 7 dwarves. Except I didn't. It was like dark red. It's called Desert Rose, and it made me look like a scary steampunk like villain. I don't know. So white with red blush. Oh yeah, gotcha. Let's read them all. Yay! Okay, well, what is fitting for the next season? It is April going into May. I don't know. I just saw... Oh, I know. So I just saw a Max Berger on Twitter put up a link to like a BBC moments in history. Like it was little graphics and bullet points about the English revolt in the 14th century, the peasant revolt. And it was arguing for why that wasn't just let me think again. It was not simply the plague that launched the sort of democratic impulse, it was arguing. This revolt and the agency of the people involved was actually the start of this, and it was the peasants who did it, not the Enlightenment thinkers or something hundreds of years later. But Richard II actually comes in because as a 14-year-old, he had to confront this revolt. I think his advisor, the Duke of Gaunt or whoever that was, came in to put down the revolt and was hanged or executed or torn to a bloody pulp. I don't know. I don't know the story. I just got like a little piece of it with this BBC rundown, and I thought this is really interesting. I don't think any of those people come into this play. Shakespeare did not highlight the peasants that were hanged or executed as a result. But it might be interesting to see his portrayal of Richard II. So I'm going to start with this one and see what I can pull from it. Let's do it, David. Yeah, so that's my Shakespearean past, my Shakespearean future, and yeah, thanks for joining in. What is everyone else reading? Cool. Yes, we have our Richard II read along. That sounds good, David. What is everyone else reading? Tell me what you're doing this week. Tell me if you've got a book in mind to purchase for Independent Bookstore Day. Because I just emailed my favorite independent bookseller, the one that I used to work for. And let's see, I had some Lisa Braxton. No, PJ Clark. Lisa Braxton, The Talking Drums is still only in hardcover, and I can't pay $28 for the book. So PJ Clark had The Talking God's Drums, which is different. But I've been wanting to read some PJ Clark. So that is on my list for purchasing. Anybody else want to put a title forward? Oh, Beth Ann is slogging through Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah. Beth Ann had some great recommendations for bookstores in Minnesota. And actually, Birch Bark is on my list for want to visit. I haven't been to Minnesota since I was 15 for like French camp, and I wasn't in a position to like go out on my own and visit bookstores then. But now I definitely want to like see some of their events, like support them. So they sound really cool. Indigenous owned bookstore in Minneapolis, I think. So yeah, Beth Ann was upvoting that one, which is great. David is reading Perilandra by C.S. Lewis. The King of Elfland's Daughter by Laura Dunsany. I have that one. I think I have that one. And listening to Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I've definitely seen that one on BookTube too. So very cool. It's a lot of fantasy and folktale, and I see a theme. I wonder if you're doing like a themed reading or if it just happened that way. That's pretty fun. We've got some upvoting going on. Excellent, excellent. Mary Barton, I saw that on your video. Very cool. I read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell and loved it. So Mary Barton is on my wish list, but I don't have a copy yet. So it's probably one that you can get free from Project Gutenberg, but I haven't tried it. I'm assuming that's one that I'll get in paperback when it like crosses my path. No need to worry about it yet. long list, right? Monte Cristo, amazing but very long. Yeah, Courtney Ferreter, I think, is it Courtney? Just finished? She just finished? I can't remember. Count of Monte Cristo and Moby Dick. There's several people like reading along together, and they just finished both. Quite the to be commended. Just happened that way. Yeah, sometimes you gotta immerse yourself in fantasy. I get it. Totally. I just finished, let's see. I just finished Earth Calling. I just finished a book called The Lamplighter, which was thrilling, horror, supernatural, psychedelic, interesting, by Anthony O'Neill. I'll talk about that in my wrap-up, I suppose. And what am I doing next? Those That Save Us. I just started Dark Age America about like climate crisis and our inevitable decline as a civilization. Happy reading. And I think I'll try to finish the month with The Street by Anne Petrie, because Bree at Locked Booktition has a live going on the 30th for anyone who read it during the month. And so I want to be able to make that and discuss and like weigh in, and maybe not weigh in, but listen. So let's see if she's got great commentary. April, good book month. This week, awesome book week. And yeah, hooray for Shakespeare and hooray for indie bookstores. Whew. All right. See, this is why I don't need blush. I don't even need port. I mean, if JD ever watches this and like wants to make fun of the blush cheeks, it's not port induced. I have to say that. It's just like performing and acting. It's been so long since I've done that and like really tried that it's just like gets the adrenaline going, gets the blood pumping, and the blood likes to go here. The blood likes to go here. It does. So, all right. Well, I think this is the Friday Live. Thank you guys for coming by and saying hi. I'm excited. Beth Ann and I actually recorded a tag video, and I'm going to edit that. And I'm supposed to do a couple AuthorTube videos next week, according to my schedule. I don't think so. I have no idea. I have drafted stuff for them, but I'm not feeling it. So we'll see if we mix it up, and maybe we'll get that tag out earlier than mid-May. We'll see. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. But I appreciate you guys being here and watching, commenting, and reaching out. Much appreciated. And I hope you're all safe and healthy and able to continue reading. So yeah, that's it. And I'll see you again soon.